Hey everyone! I finished watching the next episode of Time Force, Force from the Future Part 2 a couple days ago. I would have done this video earlier, but I had a really bad cold the last couple of days, so I wasn't able to get it done. I was gonna do it today, and then I was just dead tired the whole time. But anyway, yeah, Force from the Future Part 2. This is a crazy good episode. Um, Starts off with Rancic comes back from the future. He's in 2001. Jen and her team, they follow him to that time. They're off causing whatever problems, Rancic and his buddies. And then meanwhile, Jen, let's see, she hands out morphers to all of her team, and they go out to find the bad guys. And let's see, one of the things I always really loved in this is they walk out with their like white Time Force uniforms, and nobody really looks at them weird or anything. And they don't seem to think it's weird either to just... Yeah, you'd think people trained for time travel would know better than to just walk out in public in full view with these weird uniforms on. I don't know, maybe they just think people will think that they're at a sci-fi convention because California. But then the weird thing is they have these little fold-out sunglasses things, and they kind of remind me of the, crap, I had just thought of it, and now I can't remember what it was. There was some movie or show or something that had like a similar kind of effect. Was it Lost in Space, the movie? Oh yeah, I think it was. When they go into those cryostasis tubes, they have like these little things that go over their eyes, and it looks just like these. Anyway, back to the episode. The sunglasses weird people out, and they're like... That was kind of funny. Because they don't react at all to the uniforms, but holy crap, sunglasses? um, let's see, so they're going around, they're looking for Rancic, and the sunglasses, like, scan for, like, I don't know, biosignatures or whatever, technobabble, and it reminds me a lot of how the Psycho Rangers would scan for the Space Rangers' voices back in space. That was cool. And, oh yeah. Anyway, Nadira, during all this... Oh, first, Jen bumps into Wes, but we don't know it's Wes yet. It's just some guy who happens to sound an awful lot like Alex, the Red Ranger who got apparently killed last episode. Jen does a double take, but she can't see who it is because he has a helmet on. And meanwhile, Nadira is at this jewelry store, and she sets off a bunch of Cyclobots by throwing nuts and bolts into the air. Okay. Does that ever happen again? I'm trying to remember. I don't think that ever happens again with the Cyclobots. I think usually they just show up. Anyway, the Cyclobots are causing problems. They multiply really quickly. They're all over the city, wrecking stuff, beating people up. I love the Cyclobots. They're really cool. I love how they have that little hop thing they do. I love how they can go from, like, just happily hopping around to just beating the crap out of people. I love how the faces are just that black nothing, just faceless and really creepy. And later on in the series, they get a little goofier. Like, the Cyclobots are probably the closest that the foot soldiers of a season get to, like, the putties back in Mighty Morphin, where they could dress them up in silly outfits. And it worked pretty well as, like, being really funny. They don't really do that anymore. Why don't they do that anymore? Have, like, the foot soldiers dress up and do, like, silly stuff. It's so weird. There's all these goofy things and silly comedy bits that worked back in the older seasons, and they don't do them anymore. Instead, they're like, we're gonna keep pushing, this comedy duo, awkward cringe humor that doesn't work, but they're really committed to it for some reason. Anyway, back to Time Force. So the Rangers, they try to activate their morphers, but they don't work, and they don't know why. So they're stuck fighting off the Cyclobots unmorphed, and they're not doing a good job. Nadira's fighting with Jen. Nadira leaves. She leaves the Cyclobots there. The Cyclobots are about to kill Jen, and suddenly the dude on the motorcycle comes back. He fights off the Cyclobots. He takes his helmet off, and Jen sees his face, and it looks just like Alex. And everyone else comes over. Jen, you okay? And then they see Wes, and they're like, holy crap, he looks just like Alex! And he's like, who's Alex? And Jen's like, it's not important. And then shoos everybody away, and he's like, okay. And he gets on his motorcycle, goes back home, and then back with the Rangers, Circuit's telling them that the reason they couldn't morph is because they need a Red Ranger. Oh yeah, when Alex gave Jen his morpher, all the other morphers were connected to that morpher, so they all need to morph, but the morphers are also connected to their individual DNA, so they need to find somebody who's related to Alex or something. And all the Rangers are like, oh, that dude from earlier who looked like Alex, maybe he could do it. And Jen's like, no. And then the others are like, do we have a choice? And she's like, So then we follow Wes to his home. He lives in a huge house, big mansion. He's really rich. There's like a chef making a bunch of stuff. There's a butler there. There's some other people walking around. The butler brings him these suits. Which do you want, Master Wes? How about neither? And I just love this whole introduction for Wes. It gives us such a perfect encapsulation of who his character is at this point. He's a rich kid. He's not quite a spoiled rich kid, but he is kind of he's been sheltered a bit, and he doesn't really know how to take things seriously. However, he does have an altruistic nature, which is why he helped out Jen earlier, and he also has kind of a disdain for this kind of rich person lifestyle. You think he'd be more happy not being involved with all this, having to go to meetings and such. So anyway, he goes out to talk to his father, and he sees Jen there waiting for him. Who's that? Oh, she was waiting for you, Master Wes. And then just then his father comes over. Who's this? Oh, she's my date. And the father's like, mm-hmm. And he sees Jen. I love the part where he looks at Jen's weird outfit. Charming. And I always got the feeling he knew that she wasn't a date, that there was something weird going on, but it's subtle, and you don't quite know what's going on in his mind, and I always love stuff like that, where it's up to interpretation. It's just a really little thing. It really doesn't matter to the episode, or to anything, really, but it's a nice little touch. I like it. So then, Wes takes Jen outside. Thanks for getting me out of that, and Jen's like, we need you to unlock this morpher, and blah 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 blah, crazy story. He doesn't believe her. She blows up at him. I knew you wouldn't help us. You're nothing like him, or something. And, I kind of felt it's kind of overreacting and blowing up at this poor guy who had nothing to do with anything. But at the same time, she's had a rough couple of days. I think, this was kind of mild compared to what could have happened. So, anyway, she goes back to the other Rangers, and they're like, well, I guess we just gotta fight the bad guys unmorphed. And then Wes comes back, saves Jen from getting thrown into a car, and he's like, too late to help you guys? They give him the morpher. It works. They all morph. They all start fighting the bad guys. It's really cool. And there's a really funny little scene that kind of went over my head when I was a kid. I didn't really think about it. Gluto, the big frog guy from last episode that Nadira saves, he can fart and propel himself up in the air. Two separate things. He's not propelled by his fart. His fart is something that just happens before that. I don't know, maybe it's a mutant alien monster, whatever he is supposed to be. Is he a mutant, a monster, or an alien? What is he? I don't know. Anyway, Gluto walked so Victor and Monty could run, or fart, inflate a spider web, and float off into the sky. Yeah. Weird. One of my favorite Power Ranger seasons is a fart joke, kind of. Anyway, it's a short scene, and I actually missed it a few times when I watched it on tape. Anyway, I said anyway again, didn't I? Crap, I gotta learn to stop that. Back to the episode. The Rangers are able to fight off the bad guys, but then before they can capture any of them, Frax teleports them away, and the Rangers all unmorph, and Wes is all excited. He's like, wow, dude, that was so much fun. I can't wait to do this again. And Jen's like, you won't get to. And then she takes the morpher away and is like, screw you. And he's like, alright, easy come, easy go. Doot, 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 doot. And then the other Rangers are like, dude, he could help us. And Jen's like, no, we can do this on our own. And then the episode ends here, and it's great. I love it. It sets up the series so perfectly, and I remember being a kid and seeing this episode and wondering, is Wes gonna come back? Is there gonna be someone else who comes in? Like, as an adult, it's obvious Wes is gonna come back. Jen is gonna warm up to him. There might even be a relationship building there, kind of a Fry and Leela type of thing. Which has a lot of parallels, actually. Why was this a... Yeah. Weird. Anyway. Crap, I said anyway again. Sorry. Anyway. Crap. Love this episode. Freaking awesome. Not really a whole lot else to say about it other than, like, the synopsis and jokes in there, like the Victor Monty thing and the mentioning Psycho Rangers thing and all that. Don't really know what else to say about this one, so I guess I'll end it here. Hope you enjoyed this. See ya.